know it's a bit late, but 2023 has ended, and it's time for me to tell you what I think is the top 10 Roblox FNAF Fangames of 2023. There are a ton of great Roblox FNAF Fangames, but only the top 10 will make this list. This list includes multiplayer games and single-player games that I've played, and it is ranked by graphics, gameplay, mechanics, and extra details which make it extra special. Starting off with number 10, Those Nights at Portals 2. Those Nights at Portals 2 is a unique twist from the normal, as each night has a completely different task, different animatronic, and you are in a different area in or around the facility each night. The graphics quality is decent. Also, I was told Night 3 was a ripoff of Jollibees, but still, the gameplay is mostly unique and enjoyable. The phone calls are funny and also unique, and they even added a FNAF 6 type of cutscene at the end, which is something we haven't seen in like pretty much any other Roblox FNAF fan game. In 9th place we have Those Nights with Anthony. Those Nights with Anthony has some of the best animations on all of the characters. It has some characters with mechanics similar to other games, and others with completely unique mechanics. It has a lot of funny small details like Anthony playing the piano and singing. It has hotkeys for like pretty much everything. The graphics are pretty good, and there is so many characters in this game, and I think it's a cool game, but not as cool as 8th place. Five Nights at Stinky's multiplayer. Five Nights at Stinky's multiplayer kind of adds a competitive spin on Five Nights at Freddy's, which you can tell I've enjoyed. It adds all the characters from Five Nights at Stinky's into a big multiplayer game, where there is one night guard and the rest of the lobby is an animatronic trying to murder said night guard. You can make plans with other animatronics for synchronized attacks. One of the animatronics can boost the others, making the night guard's job as tense and stressful as possible. You gain score for surviving as the night guard. More animatronics against you means you get more score for surviving, and score is how you get on the leaderboard. The worst part about this game is that no one plays it anymore, so it's impossible to start a match and gain score on the leaderboard. But I still think it's one of the best multiplayer Roblox FNAF fan games in Roblox. In 7th place we have Forgotten Memories. Forgotten Memories has some of the best graphics of any Roblox FNAF fan game. The story mode is very similar to the actual Five Nights at Freddy's, using the Five Nights at Freddy's characters as well. They also have special characters that you play as, and each one of the characters has their own voice actor. They even have skins for those characters. The game is really hard until you figure out the strategy to beating it. We figured out the strategy and beat 620 mode first try. Since the last top 10 video, they added mazes to the game. The mazes also have amazing looking maps, amazing looking nightmare animatronics, and some cool puzzles to figure out in order to escape. And finally, Forgotten Memories has amazing, well animated cutscenes. It is also the most popular Roblox FNAF fan game ever. In 6th place we have Five Nights at Marcus 2. Fun fact, Five Nights at Marcus 2 is one of the only FNAF fan games that actually only has 5 nights, like the name suggests. Most have 6 or 7. In this game you have to process a certain amount of crates correctly to finish the night. The custom night is very special in this game. There are 5 different difficulties, which if you beat it you get a trophy for each one, and also there is endless mode with 2 difficulty settings. As the name suggests, you can go on forever, provided you don't die first, or your Wi-Fi doesn't go out or something. That would be sad, because then you'd lose the whole run. You have to process crates correctly for as long as possible, and if you get 5 incorrect, you lose. There is normal endless and 520 endless, which is very hard. Graphics on this game are high quality. Practically everything looks amazing. The gameplay is exciting and intense, especially if you're an hour into an endless run. Then it's the utmost level of stress. It's overall a great game worth playing. In 5th we have Five Nights at Roblox 2. Five Nights at Roblox 2 has 2 rooms that make up the office. You switch between those rooms to keep up with everyone and everything. It has also got an interesting mechanic where Flamingo and the other monster guy, I don't remember what his name is, they both come from the same hallway, but for Flamingo you need to turn the light on and the other guy you need it off. Managing that is interesting sometimes. The game has hotkeys to pretty much everything, which trust me helps a lot in 720 mode. It also has a very special night 6. You'll have to play the game to see what it is. The map in this game is massive. Like, there's so many cameras and everything. There's also a multiplayer version of this game where you can work together with your friends to beat the nights. It goes up to night 5, and it's interesting playing with randoms sometimes. The gameplay is fun, the graphics are really good, and there are posters everywhere. Seriously, have you seen the walls in this place? It's insane. In 4th place, we have Five Nights at Marcus Remastered. Five Nights at Marcus Remastered has some top-notch graphics. I mean, just look at it. I love the old-timey feel it gives, as this game is so supposed to have happened in the past. All the tech and the map fits the vibe. It has a task system like Five Nights at Marcus, of course, because this is the remastered version, where you have to complete your tasks to win. One of the characters even has two mechanics. He can either be in the vent above you or behind you, and you have to use a different method of defense depending on where he goes. I especially love the animation when you get rid of Dahomey. There is also an Easter egg of me in the game. Don't worry, this Easter egg did not improve the game's placement on the list. I'm not biased. The gameplay is pretty enjoyable, and if you like easier FNAF fan games, you might like this one, as it isn't very hard once you know what everyone does. The most impressive part about this game is that the base game, without the custom night or anything, was made in 2 weeks. You know the drill. Before we get to the top 3 Roblox FNAF fan games, I have prepared 3 honorable mentions. Honorable mention 1 is Animatronics Help Wanted. It's a very well made game that isn't quite finished, but what is in the game is pretty much bug free. At least my playthrough was. The graphics are fabulous and the animations are some of the best in Roblox, and the gameplay is also amazing. This game is actually a direct copy of the actual Help Wanted, just this one is free on Roblox, and that is why it was not in the top 10. The second honorable mention is the Barn Stars. The Barn Stars also has amazing graphics. It has a massive map which you can explore in its entirety. It has a very unique twist, which is minigames. You do certain tasks in various parts of the facility, risking your life for coins and bragging rights. It is also multiplayer, so you can play with up to 3 friends. This game also has great sound effects. There are a few reasons why I didn't put this in the top 10. 1, the game isn't finished. 2, you have very little time to react when the animatronics are nearby, whether you see them in the camera or when they're at the door. When they're at your door, it's already too late, my friend. And 3, my flashlight didn't work last time I played. Just kidding, that didn't affect the score. The final honorable mention is Pizza Party. Pizza Party is a multiplayer game where you can play with up to 9 friends. You have to perform various tasks while avoiding the animatronics. You can buy items between rounds to help avoid the animatronics and your demise. It has great voice acting in both chapters. The difficulty is a little weird, as chapter 1 is very difficult and chapter 2 not so much. Though they did just add revives to the game, so that probably makes both chapters significantly easier. But I'm pretty sure chapter 1's still pretty hard. The graphics and animations are pretty good. The gameplay can get a little repetitive, but it's fun nonetheless. Getting back to the top 3, we have last year's #1 Roblox FNAF fan game, Five Nights at Stinky's 3. Five Nights at Stinky's 3 is still one of, if not the best, single-player Roblox FNAF fan game. In this game, instead of surviving till 6 AM, you are working in an animatronic factory, so the night ends when you finish building the animatronic. You start the night by getting a robot to deliver some parts to you, and then you need to build the first section. Then you need to order the next parts, and the cycle continues until the animatronic is finished. Each night you build a new animatronic, and after you build that animatronic is there to kill you on the next night. Sounds counterintuitive, but it's still your job. And that technically means you're killing yourself. Well, that was morbid. Anyways, moving on. Each animatronic has a stability bar. If an animatronic runs out of stability, you lose instantly. You have to manage every animatronic stability bar at the same time, though you do have to take into account that it takes the animatronics a little while to get to your office. Some animatronics need monitoring because they can malfunction and cause you to lose, aka get murdered. Most of the animatronics have a unique mechanic or unique twist on a mechanic that we've seen before. The gameplay is tense and exhilarating. There is even a special twist on the final night where you have to escape the facility because of the facility flooding, with multiple obstacles which are minigames preventing you from leaving. The graphics in this game are great, the plot is great, the gameplay is amazing, totally deserving of a top 3 placement in my opinion. In second place we have Five Nights at Freddy's Co-op. FNAF Co-op is a game taking the base Five Nights at Freddy's games, such as FNAF 1, 2, 3, 4, Sister Location, and more, making them both multiplayer and to where you can walk and explore around the map, sometimes adding extra obstacles like a generator error in FNAF 1. FNAF Co-op's graphics look pretty much like the base game it represents, if not better. It is cool playing with your friends, experiencing all of the nights together with, I think, up to 3 friends. Also, in the later nights, you can assign roles to be the most efficient in your strategies to beating the game, changing how the game is played and giving a new and unique way of playing each game. You can play as the janitor, engineer, or policeman. There is also a shop at the beginning of each round where you can buy items to help you during the night. There is also some extra minigames to play, which are Basement Hunt and Puppet's Revenge. Overall, I think it is an awesome spin on the original game, with good gameplay, multiplayer capabilities, and way more customization. And finally, the best of the best, the #1 greatest Roblox FNAF fan game, in my opinion. is Cliffside Station. In Cliffside, you have to manage a store by keeping the shelves stocked at night, and keeping the storage room stocked during the day. It is playable with 1 to 4 players, and the difficulty depends on how many players there are. It scales if there's more players, because there's more players to take care of everything. But it wouldn't be a FNAF fan game if there wasn't something trying to kill you. While restocking, someone must keep a close eye on the cameras. If you don't, ghosts will slowly creep into the store. Those ghosts will act as landmines once they get into the store, preventing you from accessing certain areas. And even when they are directly in front of you, you can't see them. They are only visible via the cameras. You must be aware of your surroundings while checking the cameras, or another ghost might sneak up on you. You have a certain amount of money that you start with at the beginning of each week. You have to keep the store from running out of money, or it's game over. There are multiple ways for that money to run out. If someone in your team dies, then the store will get fined $150. You lose some money at the end of each night if the shelves aren't fully stocked. The amount of money you lose depends on how much stock is missing. Certain events can occur during the night, like thunderstorms that reduce visibility. Paranormal events can also occur, in which a lot of ghosts are trying to get into the store at the same time, and you must prevent them from doing so or meet your maker. The power can also go out during the night, and you will have to send someone to the shed to turn the generator back on. But the longer you're outside, the more anxiety you accumulate. If your character gets too anxious, they'll have an anxiety attack. If you have an anxiety attack, you have to complete a small series of events to escape, but it's still very dangerous. The ghosts, once again, are after you, trying to kill you the whole time. If the clock hits 8 a.m. and you still haven't escaped, you automatically perish. There is also a big map outside the store in which you can explore in all directions, with multiple special areas to explore. I recommend doing that during the daytime. Cliffside Station is also a speedrunnable game. You may be asking yourself, how can you speedrun a Five Nights at Freddy's fan game? That doesn't even make any sense. Well, if you reach a certain level of stock during the night, you can skip to the next morning, and you can also skip through the day to nighttime when you think you've done enough stock. You can make strategies to beat the game as fast as possible without dying or going broke, skipping when you think is right. Cliffside Station has amazing graphics everywhere you look. The gameplay is very enjoyable while keeping that scary feel to it. It is a very unique game in most aspects. The animations are so good. They're continuously updating the game very often, making it just that much better. All of that makes an exciting and horrifying adventure definitely deserving of the #1 spot. Those are the top 10 Roblox FNAF fan games of 2023. This video took forever to make, so I hope you enjoyed. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.